so I just want to introduce some of our speakers for tonight. I don't want to spend too much time reading off everyone's entire bios. You guys can have them already, and we don't have a whole lot of time to do that. But I do want to read you just a few sentences. So Cevin is filmmaker. Thank you so much for coming. And he is actually he produced and directed this movie and has made several other movies besides this one. War on Drugs, which won several different awards. One of which was the award for Best Documentary from High Times and New York Independent Film and Video Festival Award for Best Experimental Feature Film. And that's another cool movie that I was in. Also, Full in the Head about Transformation and Legend Indian series. I don't know, you can see that if you want. But this particular award won the Best Educational Documentary Award at the New York Independent Film and Video Festival. And Cevin is also currently working on a physics and philosophy PhD at Harvard. So Jack is one of the other speakers. He is. Oh no! Okay. He is the executive director of LEAP, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. There's one for share up there if you guys want to share it and look at it later. But I got two discusses. So his discussion gives the audience an alternative perspective on the U.S. war on drugs in the field of weapon and drug warrior training against the war. Very interesting, great presentation. And Heidi, who is sitting back there, Heidi Pihl-Buckley, is a trainer and curriculum developer in the field of juvenile justice and adult corrections. She has a great presentation called Cradle to Prison Pipeline, which is put out by the Children's Defense Fund. So I will talk more. You guys, if you want to ask Cevin some questions for like people's opinions, and then Jack will do his presentation and then we'll do a panel after that.
Some alternative is presented. No matter how much better the alternative is, it's going to have some kind of flaw. People will jump all over that flaw and use that as an excuse not to do something else. I didn't want to give people that out. I didn't want to give people the opportunity to say, oh, homeschooling or other type of schooling has some kind of problem with it, therefore let's just stay with what we have. Yeah, their problem. I really, think that something, needs to be reinvented. I have, I didn't really do an in-depth study as far as the successful, or alternatives that do things better, although I did come across a number of scenarios. So I really don't want to, throw anything out there either. But I think it's something that people can work towards and work for. My job is to show that that public school, as it's designed, the institution itself, has serious flaws in it that can be reformed. It's not something that more money can solve. It's the system itself has tremendous problems, and something else needs to take its place. I'm not going there with what that solution is. I put it out to everyone to help work towards figuring out a better solution.
Do you think some of the public schools are good, or
no?
You think overall they're?
I think that there are a lot of well-meaning people. I tried hard not to attack individuals. I mean, yeah, there are some people who, you could add people out there, but the problem is the institution itself prohibits the well-meaning people from being able to successfully be supportive. There was one teacher I'd spoken to and asked him. He was the one in Oregon who had sort of narrated the jungle kids days and why the kids hate reading and writing, and sort of discussed. I asked him how it is he can basically sleep at night knowing that he's part of the system that destroys children in this way. And he basically gave me a response that he takes like the Hippocratic oath of doctors and says that his goal is to do as little harm as possible. But since I completed this film just a few months ago, he actually dropped out of teaching. He just constructed his classroom as sort of a safe haven. Even though he was supposed to be teaching, he just let students do other work, come down from other classes. And it turned out that he learned the only thing that the administrators cared about were that the kids didn't leave the classroom, that the kids took the tests that were required. It didn't matter how they did on the tests. All that mattered was that they stayed in the classroom and they did the tests. Everything else,
So, like the standardized tests, everything just because of kids, schools have better test scores, they get better funding. Do you think if they haven't changed things like that, it might sort of alleviate some problems of that sort of technical working with that?
It would eliminate one problem. You still have the problems, all the other problems that were discussed. You have this authoritarian structure where you have, that was modeled, the whole concept of public schooling itself is actually a fairly recent invention that was constructed in the 1850s. It was a Prussian model, and it was done to create soldiers. It was a military model. You have this, one, commanding officer type figure, the instructor, and you have, docile, obedient, people whose job is to listen, take notes, and absorb the information, in a non-questioning kind of way. That military model then was adopted in the United States and then was transformed through the Industrial Revolution, and it became sort of a factory model. And so the goal was to create, factory workers who would respond to the bell, go from one place to another, again, not questioning and not really thinking, but absorbing, and information, everything, just comes from the outside. There's this learned helplessness that comes from education. As far as the process, the structure of public school. And so you have the factory model, and now what's sort of happened, either inadvertently or less so, is it's actually moved to more of a prison model as security has become paramount. And the same architects that designed prisons in this country are the same ones that are designing the schools, all the new schools, and so you see crossover in the architectural design, because again, the architects are the same. So yeah, you can get rid of testing, but everything as far as how lessons are taught, how the school day goes, all of those facets that define how the school system is conceived of and created will still remain. There's no relationship between the students. You still have a commodification of grades, where everyone is still around towards grades, but no testing is there. You still have that, and that creates a whole hierarchy and structure of power. I kept the focus, the focus of the subject is limited exclusively to public schools and public schools in America. I didn't want to make the focus too broad. It starts getting into problems, so I just was looking exclusively at that.